Hi everyone. Well, it certainly looks like we've got some interesting weather coming overnight tonight, but I will have to apologise as I'm actually making these updates from down near Land's End, quite close to a cliff top as well. So yeah, the signal is a little bit sketchy at times, so I apologise for any delays, but I will try and do my best to keep things up to date. So anyway, yes, so it certainly does look quite interesting overnight, with a lot of uncertainties to how the system that's meant to be running up along either through the English Channel or through southern England, the exact track is going to make a massive difference to how things evolve. So we'll start off with the synoptic chart with the areas of high and low pressure, but also the rain map as an additional layer, so we can see and watch how this evolves overnight. Now this is using the German model, one of the models that we rely on quite a lot. Now you can see the rain moves in through the evening, and this area of low pressure moves through the English Channel, quite elongated and stretched out, which shows signs that a second little system will develop and bring some very heavy rain towards the early hours and into tomorrow morning. However, this is just one of the takes on how things are looking, as this moves away, and that second little system moves across France, where the main area moves out into the North Sea. So that's one take on things. Another take on things is the French model that we use a lot of the time. Now this is quite a high resolution model, so it shows things a little bit differently, a little bit more detail. But this one shows the area of low pressure. Instead of running through the channel, it brings a very heavy area of heavy, potentially thundery rain across us. And then the low pressure area actually moves through southern England and then out into the North Sea, with these very, very tight isobars across southern England. Now let's show you how that looks on the wind map. So on the wind map, we flip back to the German model again, and we'll watch how this evolves. So remember, as I showed you before, the low moves through the English Channel. It doesn't really look that windy across southern England at that point. And then as we move through later tonight and into the early hours, we see this other little system run through, and the winds do become very strong. So in this area here, across where some of the stronger winds are, I mean, we're looking at wind strength possibly anywhere from 45 to maybe up to 55, 60 miles per hour along, in more exposed places and down towards the far south coast of the island. So yeah, it does look like it could turn potentially quite windy with some very wet weather, and then the system moves away through into tomorrow, and as you can see, it moves off into the North Sea, and we're left with this run of northwesterly winds, which is still quite windy, or should I say quite strong. So now let's compare this to the French model, and we can see as we run it through that that area of low pressure that was shown before, instead of running through the channel, it runs through southern England. Now you can see these winds here, as this area of low pressure moves through. The winds through the channel look very strong. I mean, down here we're looking at strength 70, 75, even 80 miles per hour perhaps. And then as it moves through, some of those stronger winds possibly do start to affect our area. So anything 70, 75 mile an hour looks like this kind of thing here. And then the area of low pressure moves off towards the northeast. And of course by tomorrow midday, things are much like the other model shows, with this run of northwesterly winds, possibly a little bit stronger on this model, but it's looking gusty and breezy, fresh, and with some showery rain at times. So for safety really, and just to cover ourselves I guess in a way, we are issuing both a wind and a rain warning for tonight. The rain warning seems almost certain, whereas the wind, there are certainly a lot of confused mixed signals for this one, and we will probably change this later. There is less of a chance of there being severe winds than there is of there being heavy rain, but that said, 1987, so we're not going to say that for sure, because you never know. but at the moment it looks less likely that the winds will be a problem than the rain. But anyway, we will update you. And risk of repeating myself over and over again, I will leave it at that. So yeah, okay, we will give you an update again later. Goodbye for now.